broke men are hurting American women's marriage prospects. It's like the craziest thing I ever heard.
Yeah.
Yo, the idea, and their whole story is they're like, men don't make that much money. And it was like, all these girls are single and it's the dude's fault for
Somehow,
not, these guys are not making enough money. That's why the problem is.
Yeah.
It's like, well, how about this little spin? Guys aren't making enough money because they're not incentivized to make a lot of money because the girls are fat.
Or they are actually making okay money, but all the money they make goes back to repaying their student debt. Dude, yesterday Stanford yesterday announced that their tuition for this year, undergraduate tuition at Stanford, is $85,000 a year.
Screw off.
Dude, I read it. I was like, I read it. I'm like so naive as a Canadian. I go, that's like for 4 years. Right?
Yeah.
And no, 82 or 85,000.
Yeah, get the hell out of here with that.
Isn't that crazy
nonsense?
for an undergrad at Stanford? Like,
it's moronic.
That's literally, what is that? What's the quick math here? 340 grand.
Dude, this is so stupid.
For an undergrad. Like, I get you get to Stanford, but you're like, it's $340,000.
Legitimately. Well, but their whole thing is, the whole thing too is the premise of their whole article. They go, research suggests that for recent years, the decline of marriage rates could have something to do with the lack of economically attractive male spouses. So yes, obviously girls want to you can't have it both ways. You can't make more money and also need a guy that makes more money. It's just like simple. It's the thing that used to always drive me nuts when they would be like, the thing that with ChatGPT was driving me nuts when it was like, if there's 3 spots and they have less men, like, it doesn't affect you. It's like, well, obviously if they have less men, it does affect you. It's a zero-sum game, right? But this would drive me nuts where they go, they're literally, the whole fight is we need to make more money. And then you go, well, men make more money than us now. And you go, can you believe these idiots?
I don't even think the issue here is specifically the money thing, but it's also like we need like men making more money who are also in like white collar jobs.
That's a big
part. Like there's lots of dudes who are just like trades who make 150 grand a year, but they're like, no, we don't like slumming it with those.
But they all also are saying that they need more money. Mm-hmm. But my point to you that I was kind of going with that was that like when they say that, I should be getting this much of a guy, like I should have a guy this much. And you go, well, you shouldn't though.
Yeah.
The thing's been rejigged. Like you're like, I'm some girl that's like, 32 years old and I make 80 grand a year and I'm this hot and I deserve this. And you go, well, no, the whole thing's changed. That's not what you deserve.
No.
You deserve this.
Like, you know what I mean? The free market's the free market.
That's what I'm saying. They haven't, it's like, it's the type of, it's the, you know what it is, Danny? It's the white guy in entertainment that still thinks like, no, I'm just going to, write my scripts and I'll book my TV show. And you go, that game's over, pal.
Game's long gone.
The girl that's like, I'm just like, I'm 32. I moved to the city. I can make 150 grand a year. I'll find a guy that makes 200 grand a year, equally as attractive.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
You go, no.
And you go, lady.
Yeah, that guy dates a woman who doesn't have a job. Who's way hotter than you and younger with no job.
That's exactly what it is, right? Yeah, you go, you go, and I'll just date a guy that makes 250 grand a year. You go, guess what? 250 grand a year doesn't need your fucking, he doesn't need your 150 grand a year.
No, I mean, you might meet him at work. But also,
Maybe.
that guy doesn't want to date people at work because that gets you in trouble.
Also, this guy makes 300 grand a year. He'd do anything, right?
But also, like, these women probably are like, I work like a dog. And you're like, okay, well,
exactly.
but also, like, guys know better than to date women who they work with now.
Well, they also work
minefield.
Are you crazy?
Yeah.
So for these girls, you're just like, the game's been rejigged. You participate in the benefits, and there's also some negatives. That's all I'm just saying.
There are some negatives. Oh, are there?
And they're feeling the negatives in a hard way right now.
I mean, it sounds like not that hard.
But it's so obvious that you're like, your standards are too high. In the whole article, she goes, unless your dream man is a Uber driver, the dearth of would-be grooms is prominent in current gig economy of unstable, low-paying service jobs. And it's like, well, how hot are you? Like, because if you're like a 7 that makes 100 grand a year in New York, it's like, yeah, maybe you do get an Uber driver. I don't know. That's like,
I mean, there's not a shortage of you.
Yeah,
like 7s who make 100 grand a year living in New York. You're like, that's a pretty saturated market.
This is the main bottom line. You go, there's no shortage of girls that make 100 grand a year in New York or like a major city or whatever.
No,
you go,
especially in New York.
Yeah, and especially when you consider that guys could date younger. You know, I mean,
again, like there's no more. Maybe like we're just too pragmatic about this stuff.
But supply and demand.
Yeah, exactly. You're just like, look, if you can't find somebody, lower your standards eventually you'll reach an equilibrium point where the dick will be rolling in.
But the problem that I'll even go one above what you're saying. So agreed that lower your standards, but like, it's not just like lower your standard. It's that you have a crazy version of what your standard is. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if you're like some seven girl and you're like, I should be with a trillionaire. And then you're like, hey, you need to lower your standards. It's not like we're just saying like,
yeah, don't go to a billionaire.
But there is an actual, it's not subjective. Like there is an actual standard and you're wrong.
Of course.
So it's like you're incorrect about what you think you get.
Yeah, you look in the mirror and you be like, I'm looking at a 10. Guys look in that photo of you and they go, that's a 7.
I'm looking at a 10 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it sucks because the advice for these women is like, don't settle. And you're like, okay,
well, don't then, yeah.
Yeah, don't die single, I
Don't
guess.
settle. You're going to be settling into that bachelor. You're going to be settling into that one bedroom.
With that cat. I mean, maybe it'll be a 2-bedroom with a cat and stuff and whatever. If that's what you want, that's fine. But like to say like, oh, there's no men out there. Like, no, there's lots.
So you just have a crazy
standards
opinion
are too high.
And incorrect. I don't. That's why I'm fighting the standards are too high because I think it's more accurate to say your standards are incorrect.
I mean, just think about it this: you ever go look for a place online? The more boxes you check, the less places they show you. Stop checking so many boxes. Less checks, more places. It's like pretty standard.
Some ladies. Here's the best part. Some ladies are even starting to date down.
Oh, that's the thing where you go.
No, you're dating.
No, yeah, you're not.
That's my point. Yes.
Like no guy's like, oh, I'm dating up. She works in marketing and makes $85,000 a year, and you're like, but wait, you make like $125,000 a year, but you're an electrician. And he goes, yeah, but I don't know. I'm an electrician.
I'm a low electrician, but she's this high end.
Yeah, she goes. Marketer. She works. I work less hours than her.
I'm dating down. Yeah, that's what she goes.
Run my own business. I do what I want. And you're like, but I apparently am dating up.
Yeah, apparently I should be so lucky.
She's older than me. Somehow I'm dating up though.
I'm dating up. You go, no, you were dating equal.
Yes. Like, obviously, there are the scenarios where everybody's like, and it generally goes the opposite way where it's a guy with a woman and people are like, oh, she's like out of your league. But generally, like, she's not because there are these intangibles. Sure, sometimes there's always going to be inefficiencies both ways. There will.
Of course. But what they said, so they wrote another article, the solution to NYC's man drought. Well, Danny, hasn't been a man drought for you at your fucking bars that you go there.
Yeah, no man drought. I am not parched.
He's been a man. What's the opposite of a drought?
Tsunami. No man drought here.
Definitely not a man drought in fucking Danny's life.
No.
But I used to, you'd call Danny. You go, you ready to do the podcast? He goes, hold on. You go, why are you talking to me like that? And he goes, no, I'm using a snorkel because I'm in between 9 different guys right now. Yeah, so
fucking man drop.
But they literally do. They have a picture of a guy in this thing that looks super. They have a guy and a girl, and the guy's like super reasonable looking.
Yeah,
and it says NYC solution date down, and it's all these girls' accounts of like the trauma of how they had to date a guy that makes less money than him, and it's like, so I guess me and you are sort of heroes in that regard.
That's so funny though.
Did you ever do that with it? Like someone was like, oh, what does your girl do? You go, listen, it's embarrassing. She makes less money than me. But
but it's like this chick's a fucking lawyer, and she's like, I'm an attorney, which is like not that crazy. Like being an attorney is not like a guaranteed. Read her thing.
She goes, and she's with this low-level electrician. That's her big beef.
Yeah.
She goes, what does your husband do? Some people will ask her, and she goes, he's an electrician. Already anticipating the wide-eyed, how interesting, from her white-collared acquaintances who can't believe that she'd be with an electrician who probably makes good money. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, but I don't know. It's like he's fine. He makes lots of money. He owns his own business, like all this stuff. Like what? Just because he's an electrician?
No, these people.
If you work with your hands, you're like just
scum to these people. Yeah,
it's crazy.
No, the way that she's seeing this world is it's blowing my mind.
Yeah,
she goes, yo, that's crazy. I'm currently she's literally doing the same thing me and you are both doing.
Yeah,
dating someone who makes less money than us.
Yeah,
and because she's a woman, she gets to go. She introduces, she goes, hey, blah, 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 and what do you do? And she goes, before hey, can I just make, blow the whistle. Can I just make an announcement before anyone says anything? Yes, she makes less money than me. I don't want anyone looking at her differently. She's still a human being. Just because this woman
Yeah, I know. Well, there's the other one too. Is a 28-year-old Brooklyn-based research scientist. She has a master's degree, and then she's engaged to a Long Island barbershop owner.
He owns a barbershop. Yeah.
So why? Just because it's a barbershop?
Yo, the audacity of these women. She goes. She's beside herself.
You know how many idiots have master's degrees? I guess it's...
So you're a moron with a master's degree and you're dating a guy that owns a barbershop. Explain to me how this is a discrepancy.
Yeah, and also his upper bound of how much money he can make is way higher
than yours.
Potential is way higher for she's probably already capped out at the most she'll ever make.
Oh, this girl's a Long Island attorney, by the way. Take it easy.
Yeah, relax.
You're friggin', you know what I mean? It's not like you're...
And it's not like they're
it's not like you're working for Berkshire Hathaway. Yeah, you're on Long Island working at Joe's Ambulance Chasers.
And she's again, she's, not to be mean or whatever, but she's not particularly attractive. Handsome is the term.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
It's some 31-year-old broad from Long Island. It's paper pushing.
Paper pushing broad. Yeah.
I
don't know. Maybe it's society is the problem. Maybe she thinks society.
Well, imagine writing imagine you're fucking you own a barbershop.
Yeah.
You make whatever it is. Your girl's some low level attorney in fucking Long Island. She makes $50,000 more than you, and then she's writing articles about how how much of a hero she is to
Imagine he doesn't know about this. He's just reading New York Post, and he's like, "What the fuck? You were in an article about settling." Dating down? First off, we're not dating, we're married.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and it's by the way, I easily could do better than you, by the way.
Yeah, but what was the point of this? I don't get this. It's not to promote your legal business.
Hey, just get it off her chest.
Just to neg me on the internet?
Get it off her chest. Andrea is hardly the only woman in the Big Apple that finds herself dating down. Or engaging in a relationship with a man with a lower education or societal class. Now these women are just
things are wild.
Yeah, can you imagine being I keep switching it, but if you were a dude and you just go, I know before everyone here, I'm dating a girl that's lower class than us.
This is the Indian caste system or some shit. It's crazy.
They're living in a bizarro world where they feel that this is okay to do.
Yeah, this is. Just I don't understand the point of this, how they got them to be in this
I guess we should pat ourselves on the back for dating down. I'd had a boyfriend in college who was perfect on paper. We were both going to be attorneys, so she was going to meet another guy of her stature, by the way. Another man who was also going to be an attorney, but he had a drug problem, and I knew deep down he wasn't right. So perfect on paper, big drug problem.
Yeah, addicted to H, kind of an issue. For me.
Perfect on paper. Addicted to H. Wanted nothing to do with me. Banging 19-year-olds.
Yeah.
Big into prostitutes. She was doing coke and clubbing a lot. And actually, I rejected my advances, to be quite honest. So didn't work out with that guy.
Yeah,
now I'm dating this barbershop owner.
I'm dating this barbershop owner. Real piece of shit.
Yeah.
Definitely doesn't deserve me.
I think the thing Andrea loves about me is how proud of who I am and where I came from. Oh, this guy's sort of in on it. This Jason guy's sort of a bitch. The one guy, yeah. Andrea, he's part of the article. Yeah, if your wife goes, hey, I'm doing an article about how women who are dating lowly men that are below them.
Hey, honey, the New York Post is doing an article about dating losers. Do you want to be in it? You're like, what?
And then first question, why do you love me so much? I don't know. I guess I just think that you're proud of where you come from. Andrea was raised in an upper middle class environment, but we're from a family of tradesmen. I have blue pride tattooed on my chest. Literally proud blue collar worker. She must hate it when he fucking shows up with the wife beater showing off the tattoo. When he shows up, he shows up to her fucking white collar lawyer functions with his blue pride tattoo. She probably always explained no, it's a working class thing. He doesn't like the police.
No. He used to say white pride, and we decided to have that just covered over because that was not.
Describes my balls because she won't smash with me because I don't get it because I don't make enough money.
It's so crazy.
Taryn Burke, 28-year-old Brooklyn research scientist with a master's degree. That's the barbershop.
Yeah, that's the one with the barbershop.
We fell in love instantly. Oh, this is the best part of the barbershop one. We fell in love instantly, but my grandmother thinks we're insane. This is the girl dating the barbershop. She said, what do you do? He's like, yeah, I'm a lawyer. And he runs a barbershop. And the grandmother goes, stop. You're messing with me, right? Yeah, this is insanity.
What do you mean?
We're
upper crust. Can't be dating him. And he goes, he owns the barbershop. She goes,
but we are petite bourgeoisie.
Yeah. But like, does he own like a chain of barbershops?
So he owns every barbershop.
Yeah, he goes every barbershop.
Barbershop
in
TM.
Long Island. And you go, No, he just one.
Okay, so at least he has like 85 employees minimum probably. And you go, he just has 3 guys working with him. He goes, guys, I got to be honest with you. This is fucking insane what I'm hearing. I don't know what to do with this information.
Don't worry though. He's got a plan to turn things around. He's gonna have that fat slob from Turkey come in and do a dance in front of the barbershop.
Yo, how crazy is it that this girl goes, my grandmother thinks we're insane. Her mind's blown.
I mean, old people.
Excuse me. This is my new husband. We're getting married. What does he do? I own a barbershop.
It's like you went to that school just to end up marrying a business owner?
These girls are making me sick right now, dude. They should be ashamed of themselves with this kind of attitude. My grandmother thinks we're fucking insane. While we do sometimes fight about finances, at the end of the day, I'm really glad to be the primary breadwinner. I like being in control, calling the shots, deciding. This is the girl with the blueprint, the guy that's got the working class pride tattoo. Yeah. So she's the guy with the working class pride tattoo is really like getting bitched around. Bitched around. I have a feeling that this guy his working class pride involves like working pretty part-time blue collar.
Or he's like, I wonder if just to make himself, he like disconnects stuff at home so he can like come save the day.
I just think.
She goes, honey, the outlet's not working again. He goes,
you're gonna have to head down to the hardware shop. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, right there. Just a couple blue pride. Got a part-time job as a crossing guard.
I mean, again, like I guess for us, you see this scenario, you're like, just because you make 10 more grand a year than him, you're not settling for.
Say, take it easy.
You're not dating down. Like, chill.
Take it easy. Chill.
Fucking chill. He's not like he's not like a 65-year-old man who works at McDonald's and you're a 31-year-old attorney. Like, he's like a few years older than you. It's like pretty normal.
The article about settling.
It's crazy that it's just like, why would you be in the article though?
That's nuts.
Like, no girl, if you go like, if you're imagining you're a girl, hey, you want to be in an article about settling?
About how I'm
you're the lower one for this. It's for Maxim.
I'm doing a Maxim article about how I'm settling down.
Yeah, I'm settling for you. Is that cool?
If you don't mind, describe what is like dating
up.
You
need some tax returns. They want it.
They want to know what you're. And then you're gonna write like a couple paragraphs on what it's like to date up.
Yeah. Can we just get a couple little comments?
We get a little bit of a quote on what it's like to be dating up. So these girls are out of their minds. And the last one, this is the best part though. They said, not every woman considers blue collar guy blue ribbon material. For example, Dawn Delavida, who's MD, she's the author of She Makes More.
I mean, she is an MD. She's a doctor.
It's a woman that makes more than you.
First off, there's
can you imagine? You fucking start dating a girl that makes like 50 grand more than you, and she starts working on a side project
about making more money than you. The only thing you can do at that point is just figure out a way to make more money.
You're at a family thing. She goes, so what's your book called? That is the pettiest person alive.